Always on AI Episode 4. How much is voicemail actually costing your business? It is 6:17 on a Tuesday evening. A homeowner walks into the garage and sees water spreading across the floor near the water heater. He grabs his phone, searches for a plumber, reads several reviews, and calls the business that appears to be the best choice. The phone rings. Once, twice, 3 times. Then he hears this. "Thank you for calling. Your call is very important to us. Please leave your name, telephone number, and a brief message. Someone will return your call as soon as possible." The message sounds professional. It is polite, promises a callback, but the caller has water on the floor. He does not need a promise. He needs a plumber. So he hangs up, returns to Google, and calls the next business. That business answers and responds. The caller explains the problem, answers a few questions, and schedules service. The first plumber never knows the opportunity existed. There is no complaint. There is no bad review. There is no entry in the customer database. There is no lost sale report. There is only silence. That silence may have cost hundreds or thousands of dollars. And it happens every day in businesses that still believe voicemail is a reasonable solution for a new opportunity. Your voicemail may sound professional. It may promise a quick callback. It may even thank the caller for calling. But there is one thing voicemail cannot do. Cannot stop an opportunity from leaving and calling your competitor. Welcome to Always on AI, the podcast for business owners, entrepreneurs, and leaders who refuse to be left behind in the 24/7 customer responsive economy. I'm your host, Bob Frazier, founder and CEO of Digital Workforce 360. In Episode 1, we explained what a 24/7 AI expert employee is. In Episode 2, we examined how reviews influence a new opportunity before your staff even knows that person exists. In Episode 3, we answered the question, you know your business needs AI, but where do you start? Our answer was simple. Do not start with an AI tool. Start with one expensive business problem. Give AI one clearly defined job. Measure the result. Then expand. Today, we are examining one of the most expensive and most misunderstood business problems. How much is voicemail actually costing your business? Most business owners know they miss calls, but many have never calculated what those calls may be worth. They see voicemail as a safety net. The customer calls. Nobody answers. The caller leaves a message. The staff calls back. Business continues. That is the story voicemail tells us. Unfortunately, that is not how most new opportunities behave. Voicemail works reasonably well for existing customers who already know your business. An existing customer may leave a message because there is already a relationship. They expect you to call back. They know who you are. They may have an open project, a scheduled appointment, or a familiar contact on your team. A new opportunity is different. That caller may have found 3 or 4 businesses during a Google search. The caller does not owe your business patience. There is no relationship. There is no loyalty. There is only a need and a list of alternatives. When the caller reaches voicemail, the decision is not simply, should I leave a message? The decision is, should I wait for this business or call the next one? For an urgent need, the answer is obvious. For a valuable need, the answer may be the same. A homeowner wants to know whether you can repair the roof. A restaurant owner needs a refrigeration technician. A parent wants to schedule an appointment. A business manager needs a proposal. A prospect wants to confirm that you serve their area. They called because they wanted answers. Voicemail turns that conversation into busy work. It tells the caller to provide a name, number, and explanation. Then wait without knowing when the business will respond. That is not a solution. That is the voicemail wait gap. A wait gap is the time between the moment an opportunity wants to move forward and the moment the business responds. Voicemail creates one of the clearest wait gaps in business. The customer is ready now. The business says wait and will respond later. The problem is that the customer continues moving while the business is waiting to call back. The caller may contact another company. The caller may schedule online somewhere else. The caller may ask an AI search tool for another recommendation. The caller may return to the search results and choose the business with the next best reviews. Every minute inside the wait gap gives the opportunity another reason to disappear. This is why voicemail can create a false sense of security. Your phone system records the missed call. Maybe it records a message. The staff sees a notification. Everyone assumes the opportunity is still available. But the opportunity may already be gone. The business sees the message. It does not see the other calls the customer made after leaving it. Let's look at what recent call data tells us. CallRail reports that approximately 28% of inbound business calls go unanswered on average. CallRail also found that 78% of consumers surveyed had abandoned a business after an unanswered call. Invoca has reported that fewer than 3% of sales callers sent to voicemail leave a message in its platform data. The exact percentage will vary by industry, urgency, caller type, and how the phone system is configured. But the direction is unmistakable. Most new opportunities do not treat voicemail as a response. They treat it as no response, and these new opportunities disappear. This is especially important for local and service businesses because a phone call is often a high-intent action. The person has already searched. They have already looked at options. They may have already read your reviews and visited your website. They have moved from browsing to contacting. Marketing did its job. The opportunity arrived. Then voicemail sent them to the wait gap and the opportunity returned to search. If voicemail is so expensive, why do so many businesses underestimate the problem? Because most of the loss is invisible. Your reports may show that the phone rang, but they may not show whether the caller was a new opportunity, an existing customer, a vendor, a solicitation call, or a wrong number. If the caller hangs up without leaving a message, the staff never knows why that person called. If the caller leaves a message but hires someone else before the callback, your system may record no answer or did not return call. It rarely records lost to the business that answered and responded first. The new opportunity disappears without creating a clear failure. That makes voicemail losses invisible and easy to ignore. Business leaders measure the customers they won. They count appointments, proposals, jobs, and sales. They rarely count the customers they never had a chance to speak with. That is why the first step is not buying technology. The first step is making the invisible visible. Now let's give voicemail the best possible outcome. The caller actually leaves a message. What happens next? Someone on your staff must notice the notification. They must stop what they are doing, listen to the message, write down or enter the information, determine who should respond, and return the call. Then the staff member hopes the caller answers. If the number calling is unfamiliar, the caller usually ignores the call. If the caller does answer, the staff still has to verify the need still exists, answer questions, qualify the opportunity, check availability, schedule the next step, send a confirmation, update the calendar and the CRM customer record. Voicemail did not complete the work. It created a staff to-do list. And that to-do list competes with customers who are already in front of the staff, phones that are currently ringing, appointments, emails, meetings, and everything else happening inside the business. Even the callers who leave messages remain trapped in the wait gap until someone completes every one of those steps. Business owners often say, "Our team calls people back quickly." That is good. But a callback is still not the same as answering and responding to the original call. The customer selected the time of the first call because that was when the customer was available. The business selects the time of the callback. Those two schedules may not match. The customer may be driving, working, speaking with another business, or unable to answer. The caller may not recognize your number. Spam calls have trained people to ignore unfamiliar numbers. The staff leaves a message. Now the business and the customer begin playing telephone tag. Meanwhile, the competitor who answered the first call and responded already has the appointment. This is the cruel part of voicemail. Your staff can do everything responsibly after the missed call and still lose the opportunity. The failure happened before the callback began. Responses are not missed only after hours. They are missed during lunch. They are missed while employees help other customers. They are missed when the receptionist is away from the desk. They are missed when the team is on a job site. They are missed when several people call at once. They are missed during meetings, breaks, vacations, sick days, weekends, and holidays. Sometimes the phone is answered, but the caller is placed on hold long enough to hang up. Sometimes the call is routed through a complicated phone tree menu. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for support, press 3 for accounting, press 4 to leave a message, press 5 to hear these options again. Sometimes a staff member answers but cannot immediately provide the information or next step. The real problem is larger than after-hours coverage. The problem is immediate response 24/7. Your staff may be excellent. They are also human. They can only have one conversation at a time and are not available 24/7. Now we come to the question in the title of this episode. How much is voicemail actually costing your business? You cannot answer that question with one national statistic. You need your numbers. Begin with 4 inputs. First, how many inbound calls does your business receive each week? Second, what percentage goes unanswered, reaches voicemail, or hangs up before anyone responds? Third, what percentage of those calls are genuine new opportunities? Fourth, what is one new customer worth, adjusted by the percentage of opportunities your business normally converts? Here is a simple example. Imagine a business receives 50 calls each week. 14 go to voicemail. That is 28%. Suppose half of those voicemail calls are genuine new opportunities. That gives us 7 new opportunities each week. Suppose the business normally converts 40% of qualified opportunities into customers. That means approximately 3 new opportunities per week may be at risk. If the average customer is worth $500, the business may have roughly $1,500 in weekly revenue at risk. Across 52 weeks, that is $78,000. This does not mean every missed call would have become a customer. That is why we applied the conversion rate. It also does not mean every dollar will definitely be lost. It means the revenue is at risk because the business did not create the response needed to win the new opportunity. That is the number business leaders should compare with the cost of fixing the problem. Do not let the example become the answer. Your business may receive fewer calls with a higher customer value, or it may receive more calls with a smaller average customer value. Your close rate may be 10%, 30%, or 60%. Your missed call percentage may change by hour, day, location, or employee schedule. Use your actual call records whenever possible. Review at least one normal week. Count every inbound call. Separate answered calls from unanswered calls. Identify hangups, voicemail transfers, abandoned holds, and after-hours calls. Then classify as many calls as you can. How many were existing customers? How many were vendors? How many were spam? How many were potential new customers? If you cannot classify the callers who left no message, that is part of the problem. Unknown does not mean worthless. It means invisible. Repeat the audit for several weeks and you will begin to see patterns. Maybe Monday mornings are the problem. Maybe lunch creates the biggest gap. Maybe evenings or weekends produce the highest value calls. Maybe one location answers consistently while another sends callers to voicemail. Once the pattern is visible, the business can decide if they want to fix it. To make this easier, Digital Workforce 360 created a free voicemail revenue at risk calculator. You can find it at digitalworkforce360.com/AI-resources. Again, that is digitalworkforce360.com/AI-resources. The calculator helps you estimate how much revenue may be at risk from unanswered calls and voicemail. You enter your call volume, estimate the percentage of calls that go unanswered, identify the share that represents new opportunities, enter the value of a new customer, and apply a realistic conversion rate. The calculator then converts the missed call problem into a weekly, monthly, and annual business number. Why is that important? Because we miss some calls sounds like a minor operational inconvenience. We may have $78,000 in annual revenue at risk, creates the need for a more urgent business decision. The calculator does not promise that every missed call would have closed. It helps estimate the value of the opportunity your business never had the chance to convert. Use conservative assumptions. The goal is not to create a frightening number. The goal is to create a realistic number and to determine the real cost of voicemail. Then ask one more question. How much would we recover if we responded immediately to even a portion of those new opportunities? The answer is not asking your employees to work 24 hours a day. The answer is giving the business the ability to respond 24 hours a day. A properly trained AI expert employee can answer and respond when your staff cannot. It can greet the caller professionally. It can determine why the person is calling. It can distinguish a new opportunity from an existing customer, vendor, or solicitation call. It can answer business questions. It can collect the correct information, qualify the need, check availability, book an appointment, send a confirmation, update the customer record, notify the staff, and transfer the caller when human interaction is required. Most importantly, it creates a conversation and immediate response. The customer does not have to leave instructions for a future callback and wait. The business provides an answer, action, or clear next step during the original call. That is the difference between being available later and being responsive now. 24/7 customer responsive is today's competitive advantage and tomorrow's minimum business requirement. An AI receptionist should not be positioned as a punishment for employees who miss calls. Your staff misses calls because people have limits. They take lunch. They help customers. They attend meetings. They become sick. They go home. They may be handling one call when 3 more arrive. AI gives the team backup and 24/7 coverage. It protects new opportunities when the staff is unavailable. It gathers information before a person becomes involved. It continues the customer journey. It eliminates telephone tag. It keeps the calendar and customer record updated. It recovers potentially lost revenue. The human team can focus on judgment, relationships, exceptions, and the moments where personal attention creates the most value. AI handles immediate response and repetition. People handle the work that should remain personal. That is not replacing the team. That is making the team more effective. Being 24/7 customer responsive does not mean your office is open all night. It means that every new opportunity receives an immediate and useful response whenever that new opportunity arrives. If a caller needs an emergency human response, the AI can follow the approved escalation process. If the caller needs an appointment, the AI can book and confirm it. If the caller has a business question, the AI can immediately answer it. If the caller needs a specialist, the AI can gather context and arrange the handoff. If the caller is an existing customer, the AI can identify the need and notify the right person. If the caller is a solicitation, the AI can keep that interruption away from the staff. Responsiveness recognizes the caller, understands the need, and moves the conversation forward. That is what voicemail fails to do. Here is my challenge for you. Conduct a voicemail audit. Do not ask your staff whether calls are being missed. Pull the call records. Count how many calls rang without an answer. Count how many reached voicemail. Count how many callers hung up without leaving a message. Count abandoned holds. Separate business hours from after hours. Look at lunch, evenings, weekends, and your busiest periods. For the callers who left messages, track what happened next. How quickly did the business call back? Did the caller answer? Was the caller still interested? Did the team leave the caller a message? Was the opportunity qualified? Was an appointment booked? Did the call create revenue? Then enter the results into the Revenue at Risk calculator at digitalworkforce360.com/AI-resources. Do not guess whether voicemail is working. Measure it. You may discover that the growth problem is not due to a lack of leads. It is what happens after the new opportunities call. Every new opportunity that is not immediately responded to makes your marketing less valuable. You may be paying for search and social media advertising, direct mail, SEO, referral programs, vehicle wraps, networking, sponsorships, and website traffic. All of that effort has one job: create interest. When the opportunity finally calls and reaches voicemail, the marketing investment has done its job, but the response system has failed to convert the result. Marketing attracts new opportunities. Customer responsiveness converts new opportunities into customers. Before increasing the advertising budget, make sure the business can immediately respond to the new opportunities marketing is already creating. Otherwise, more advertising may simply create more callers for voicemail and more opportunities for the competition. Your next step is simple. Visit digitalworkforce360.com/AI-resources. Complete the free Revenue at Risk calculator using conservative numbers from your business. If you do not know your missed call rate, start with a 1-week voicemail audit. The result may confirm that your current process is working well, or it may expose the largest invisible revenue leak in your business. Either way, you will have something more valuable than an opinion. You will have a number. And once the cost of the weight gap is visible, you can make a clear decision about fixing it. I'm Bob Frazier, founder and CEO of Digital Workforce 360. Thank you for joining me for episode 4 of Always on AI. Today, we exposed the false comfort of voicemail. Voicemail does not answer questions. It does not qualify opportunities. It does not schedule appointments. It does not update your customer records. And it does not stop a new opportunity that is ready to do business from calling the competition. The cost is not the missed ring. The cost is the customer your business never had the opportunity to win. In episode 5, we will connect voicemail with 2 other invisible weight gap leaks that can sabotage the money you spend attracting new opportunities. Our episode 5 title is Stop Wasting Your Advertising Dollars Until You Fix These 3 Revenue Leaks. We will examine what happens when your reviews create doubt, your phone sends callers to voicemail, and your website forms make visitors wait. Before you buy more traffic, let's convert more of the opportunities you already have without adding additional staff. Opportunities don't wait. Be the business that responds first and wins the customer. Thanks again for your time and interest. If you have any questions, please email me at bob@digitalworkforce360.com.